Hello, this is Jonathan Fry, and today I'm going to go through making 3 different forms. Let's start today by going to how to get to forms, first of all. You go to your Waffle, and Forms is one of them. Or you could also go to Drive and click New and go to Google Forms and click Forms, which will take you to an untitled form. You can also start in the actual docs.google.com/forms, and that'll take you to the forms start page. Either way, let's go ahead and click open a form, and we have a untitled form with one untitled question. The first thing you should do is probably title the form. So go ahead and click untitled form, and we're going to choose places to eat out today. And when you click that and you click the untitled form, it'll create the same name. Go ahead and give them some information about why they're filling out the form. Let's go ahead and look at, before we start getting into questions, what's on the right hand side here. You have the plus sign is manually adding another question. You have the ability to import a question from another form. You can create a title or a description to a question. It's not an actual question itself. You can add an image to a question, or just add an image in general above or below a question. You can also add a video into your question, or above or below the question, and you can create sections so that people see only sections of the form at a time. The first thing we're going to do today is look at a regular question. We click on that, and it's an untitled question, so we're going to title it restaurant choice number 1. And we're going to have it be a open-ended short answer. So the person that's filling it out is going to just type in a name. You'll notice down here that I could copy this, I could delete this question, or I can make it required. I want them to provide at least one choice, so I'm going to make the first one required. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And now I have choice number 2. And I'm going to turn the required one off because I told them that you could do your top 3, but you only really need to have one. And then create a third one. And that is the end of my simple form for people to fill out. I'm going to go ahead and click responses. I'm going to have the responses here. I'm not going to create a spreadsheet for the responses today, but I will accept responses. These 3 dots can also give you notifications when somebody fills out the form. So if you would click that, you notice that the notifications are enabled. So anytime somebody fills this out, you would get notifications. Now, how do I send this to someone? When you are ready, you can actually click send, and you can send it via email to a particular person. So I'm going to send it to myself. We can actually make sure that the form is included inside the email itself if you'd like. And I can also collect the emails if I want. So let's go ahead and do that and click send. All right, let's go see what that looks like. All right, here we are in my email. I just got a form from Bedford ITRT, and it looks like it was sent properly. Here is the actual form inside the email, so I can fill it out right here and send it back. Or if I really want to, I can actually click and open up a new tab and go out to Google Forms. Let's go ahead and fill it out. All right, hit submit. It says, yeah, you're doing this, okay. And let's go ahead and see what it looks like back at the original form. All right, you'll notice here's the original form, and you click on responses. Now we have one response. It shows the 3 different choices, and I can also create a spreadsheet if I want to see those choices on a spreadsheet as well. I can also filter it by question as I get more people filling it out, or by individual, what each individual has stated. So basically that is how to fill out a form. I'm going to go ahead and show you 2 more form variations. All right, I'm now back in an untitled form. This time I'm going to have a video and embedded and have a person watch the video. So let's go ahead and do video Mr. Fry. And the first question is going to be, Okay, name 3 things you learned from the video and make sure that it's in paragraph form. I'm going to require it. And I'm going to embed a video. So I'm going to get myself out of the way here. And I'm going to click video. And this is where I can search for a video in YouTube, or if I knew the YouTube URL, I would insert the YouTube URL right here. So let me go ahead and get the video. Okay, so here I have a YouTube video about online privacy for kids. I'm going to go ahead and select that, and the video is now below the question. I can title the video if I'd like. That's optional. So let's do online privacy for students. Okay, and what I can do is I can actually move this above, or I can move the other one below. I can click and drag and move above or below depending on where you want the question. So I want the video first, and then I want the question under the video. And I do want it required. If I decide I want the video on a different side, I can do that as well. I decide I don't want the video, I can delete it and try again. All right, I think I'm ready to go ahead and send. I'm going to go ahead and send this video to myself again. And this time I'm not going to include the form in the email. I'm just going to go ahead and send it as is. All right, you notice here's the form. It's very simplistic. You don't have the option to fill it out here. When you click fill out form, you notice that the video comes first. You can play the video. And then down here, you can type in the 3 things you learned from the video all in one line, and then you click submit. You'll notice that I can't submit it without typing something in, and then I can submit. All right, back here you notice there's now 1 response. Again, same thing. You have the ability to see individual responses. Let's go ahead and look at what a quiz would look like. So let's go ahead and set up a quiz. An easy way to open up a new form is just go over and click on the form icon, and you'll go back to the base form page and click blank. And you can create a form here. And this is actually, we're going to create a quiz, so we would actually have to go to settings and look at presentation, and then look at quizzes, and you can actually create a quiz. We're not going to lock mode on Chromebooks today, but this is a really good thing to do if you have students who are on Chromebooks and you'd like them to only view the form. We're going to have it immediately after each submission. Respondents can see all their questions and their point values after they're done. Let's go back to general. I do want to restrict users to only those students in Bedford County Public Schools, so I would click on that. I do not want them to edit, and I do not want them to see a summary. I do want to limit only 1 response. Now, if you notice, limiting 1 response will require them to sign into Google, so that'll automatically collect their emails as well. So that's a couple differences. You also have the ability to shuffle questions in the progress and so forth, and change your message when they submit. The default message is your response has been recorded. You can also say like, thank you for completing this. So go ahead and hit save. All right, some of the basic differences between a quiz and a just regular form is that in quizzes you have answer keys. So let's go ahead and title this and give it a quick description. All right, and I have a example couple questions. So let's go ahead and start off with a multiple choice question. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this to my form. And you notice that it automatically thinks it's going to be multiple choice, but you can change it to whatever you'd like. But we're going to pick multiple choice today, and then I'm going to find the answers, copy those, go back to here, paste, and all 4 of them come up. I'm going to make it required, and I will also set up an answer key, and I'm going to have each one be 1 point. The answer key is 3 hours, so that would be 180 minutes, and click done. You also noticed that when I go to the answer key, you can add answer feedback if they get it wrong as a hint. That's an option. We're not going to do that today. But let's go ahead and make another question. So the second question is going to be a paragraph text. So let's copy the question, go back here, paste, and it's multiple choice. So we're going to go ahead and change it to paragraph. and the answer key is going to be worth 1 point. Done. Required. That is an open-ended question, so the quiz will have to be graded at a later date, not automatic. Let's go ahead and do a third question. Yeah, this is a short answer text, so it says fill in the blank. You must use the blank. Let's go back, paste. The blank window, this is not multiple choice, this is short answer. And the answer key, that's going to be worth 1 point. The answer feedback, we could do that. You actually can type in the correct answer if you think spelling is important. It's actually, the answer is incognito. Mark all other answers incorrect. That is an option where it'll automatically only take that as a correct answer, or I could say the following, or all caps. And mark others. You get the idea, but spelling counts in this one. Otherwise, you'd have to go in and manually see how they did there as well. I click done. That is a required one. Did I make the other one required? Yes, I did. So all three are required now. And we have the answer keys set up. We can go to responses. We don't have any responses yet. We go to settings. We are limited to one response. We are not going to let them, this is good. Quizzes. So it says release grade immediately after each submission. If I do this, it'll actually show that some of the answers are not graded. So I will want to do later after manual review because I need to actually go in and look at the long paragraph one. So I would click that. Hit save. At this time, I'd like to create a spreadsheet to go along with my quiz. So click Create Spreadsheet or click the green icon. Create New Spreadsheet. It's going to automatically have the same name plus the word responses. And let's go ahead and click Create. In a new tab, it'll open up and it'll have the basic information such as the timestamp, whose email, what the overall score was, and then here's the questions. At this time, I can click share the people that you need to share this with. Maybe you need to share it with your administrator or another member of your department, etc. But this is where you would add that so that they could get access to that as well. All right, I think we are ready to go. In this particular one, I'd like this to be seen by another teacher. So I can actually click these three dots and I can add them as a collaborator if I'd like. I can also make a copy of this and have them create ownership over it. But these three dots here add a couple more sidebars and preferences. So if I click add collaborators, I can actually add myself as an editor and collaborator. So I can manipulate and look at the material here as well, and click send. All right, the last thing is to actually send to someone. The other thing is people have been asking is how do you embed a quiz or some form as a link instead of just sending it to somebody. So if you actually click send and you click via link, you can actually copy this link, or you can create a shortened link as well. But I also go up here to the preview view form and you can actually copy that one as well. So if I go over here and open up a new tab and hit cut paste, that actually comes out as a viewable form for somebody to take it as well. So those are some ways to copy the form and link it into another learning management system. So that's a quick overview of several different types of forms that you can push out to people, either via sending them through email or just taking the link and embedding it into a learning management system. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, hit like, and or just email me, Jonathan Fry. Have a great day.